Hey, it's me, Gillian. And I know last time I promised you that next time, that'd be this time, I would tell you what happened in my Jeep a few months after my dad passed. I'm sitting there in my happy place, backed in to the garage, and I'm looking out at the day. It's a beautiful day. The wind's blowing. I think it must be like July-ish. But it's evening, and folks are, occasionally walking by. And all of a sudden, I'm in conversation with my dad. I mean, I am responding to my father's voice. Did I mention my dad passed like a few months earlier? Okay. And yeah, in that moment, I wasn't thinking about that. I was not trying to do the mediumship thing. I was not meditating, although I was kind of in a meditative state. We could talk about that later, but at that point in my mediumship, I called myself a sloppy medium, and this was evidence of that too, because stuff would just happen, and this was one of those moments. So I'm sitting there in BART, and I'm watching the people go by occasionally, and then there was this man, and I think like his grandson and their dog, and they go by, and I admired the love. It was like a Hallmark moment, it was adorable. And my dad joined in to the conversation. He saw what I was looking at. He heard what I was thinking, what I was feeling about them, and then he responded to what I was thinking, feeling, and seeing. And then I responded to what he said. So the grandfather and the grandson and the dog are walking by, right? The grandfather kind of looks at the kid, and something was just struck him as cute, and he just fluffed his hair, And I saw the kid kind of, and I'm thinking to myself in that moment, oh, he did not like that, but he's letting grandfather fluff his hair. And then I also thought in that moment, this is a memory moment. They will, especially the grandson, remember this moment later when he remembers his granddad. Okay, so my dad chimes in. There are two types of clairaudience. You got clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience. Clairaudience, objective, is outside your head. You hear the voice that is not yours, someone else's, outside of your head. Subjective, which does not mean it's any lesser than in terms of validity, inside your head. In this case, it was my dad's voice, and it's outside my head. Okay, so backing up again. The grandfather fluffs the grandkid's head, and I'm just like, oh, he did not like that, but oh, how cute, what a moment. My dad says, oh, you should have seen you when you were that age, which is about 7 or 8 years old. And I go, really? And he goes, oh, yeah, man, you were cute. And in that instant, I did that. And then I'm like, Dad, oh, man. When I turned around, I actually expected that he was going to be like right behind. That's where it felt like his voice was coming from, right there. And I knew that he was still there. And then I also recognized that with my physical eyes, I wasn't going to get to see him. Not that you can't do that. That does happen for some folks, but that's not what was happening for me. And I also had broken the frequency, the vibration, that had me be able to connect with the spirit realm. And instead, when I turned around, physical eyes, I'm all about earth realm, which is a different vibration. We'll talk about that some other time. So I couldn't see him, but I knew he was still right there. So I'm all like, Dad, I'm like, I had a conversation. I kept talking, couldn't hear him. He was probably a little frustrated. Maybe he wasn't frustrated, but I made a promise right then that I would work to get a lot better at this so that we could consciously do that. Like, oh my God. And there was so much that I read from the tone of his voice, the energy from him, there was so much that was said, not with his words, but with his state of being. That experience has stayed with me so much. It's the most profound of all the spiritual, metaphysical things that have happened over my days. And I've seen a lot of stuff, felt a lot of stuff. But this was it. This was, it wasn't my first clairaudient experience. All of the clairaudient experiences that I've had have been truly like, holy shiznit, Batman. What? Like that. Every last one. And I'm just so grateful, though, to have had that one. I needed that. Sure, you can understand. And I'm going to be sharing these experiences with you because I want you to have them as well. And so next time, I just want to do some basics. I just want to explain to you how I explain how it is that we are able to do this. And we will do that on the next Conscious Cougar Minute.